first place in the National League East at 46-31. And the San Diego Padres defeated the Kansas City Royals 5-1. Fernando Tatis Jr., the clinching 3-run home run in the bottom of the seventh inning to break the Royals' 4-game winning streak. And in Game 1 of the best-of-3 College World Series final on Saturday night, LSU defeated Coastal Carolina 1-0. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
From the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electrical needs, call Parker.
A beautiful finish to the weekend ahead of us. We'll top out this afternoon at a sunny 101. Overnight, clear and cool, the low 78. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Corey McCloskey.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Don McDowell Outdoor Radio is sponsored by Elevate Design Group. It's time for Don McDowell Outdoors on Fox Sports 910. A show for the avid fisherman and hunter looking for tips from the pros. Now here's your host, a saltwater fisherman and the man that fears no fish. He's the bass daddy and a tournament pro, Don McDowell.
All righty, I want everybody to sing along with me. Bomb, 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 Iran. Come on, you can sing it too. Come on, let's do it. Okay, been there, done that. All right, that's what we did yesterday, folks. We took out 3 nuclear sites in Iran, and let's pray that this doesn't escalate out of hand. So I'm going to ask you to be really aware of your situational awareness. Al-Qaeda has called up the terrorist cells worldwide. We know we've got them in the U.S. There's Al-Qaeda and Hezbollah, the Houthis, Boko Haram, ISIS. It just goes on and on and on. We don't know who's here exactly. So anyway, I have all the faith in the world in the Trump administration, especially Cass Patel and the FBI. Put their thumb on these guys and neutralize it before it gets out of hand. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And I want to introduce our special guest. And I said yesterday that before the bombs went off that I'm so proud to be an American with what's happening with the parade. And then I met this guy in America. We can practice our faith any way we want to. And Matt Vanderhart is in studio. He has a Bible study, Bibles, Bullets, and Bourbon. That is so unique. And my pastor approves, by the way. So anyway, thank you for coming down. How in the world did you get this started? I mean, this is so intriguing. Walk me through it. Okay, I got the invitation. Kimberly's going to put that up on social media. So take it away, Matt. Now, one more question. I'll quit interrupting you. Do I have to call you Pastor Matt?
No. Okay. Just Matt. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a real pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for coming down.
Yeah, appreciate you having me on. So we opened a range last September.
Now
September
we're talking
1st.
a shooting range?
Yes. So
Okay.
It's a private sportsman's club type shooting range. And mostly open for training companies that do firearms training and church safety teams.
Okay.
So that's our main focus.
Do you have any LEOs coming out there using your facility?
Not department-wise.
Okay.
We get a lot of LEOs out there doing private training.
Okay, good.
So that's been really cool to see, that grow and different people come
Now,
out.
what
and take
are the
advantage of
days
that.
and the hours of your range? Let's clarify that first.
So it's not open to the public. If a training company wants to come and they want to start at 6 a.m, then we're open at 6 a.m.
Okay, so I have a company. Do I qualify to come out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. If you're a firearms instructor, whether USCCA or, you have any sort of firearms training company and you carry liability insurance and you're like, hey, I want to book your range to teach a Pistol 1 course or a CCW class or...
No, I've just got a AK-47 that identified as an MS-13, so the Dems would leave it alone. But we need to change the sight on, and then we're putting, my buddy RC, weapons expert, we're putting thermal imaging on a AR platform.
Nice.
So I need someplace to sight that, because sighting the thermal imaging is problematic.
Sure.
Especially in this damn heat.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay.
So anyways, so that's been going really well. We really like that. And I've known for a while now that God wants me to build up men. And I mean, I'm sure you're aware, men in the church right now, Big C church, there's not a lot of manly men, right? We've become very weak. And my exercise is to say, hey, you know what?
I'm tracking with you.
We need masculine men again in the church, in our
I'm
world.
glad you say that, because I had an episode yesterday that created some chaos. I hate to get on this particular soapbox, but I went into, I have a contracting business and my ranch business, and I do manly man stuff.
Yeah.
I went into Home Depot to buy some paint, and there's this little fat gay blade behind the paint counter that had 3 different colors of hair. His nose is pierced, his eyebrows pierced, his ears pierced, grossly overweight. No.
Yeah.
Turn and walk away. I just can't. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm tracking with you.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I feel there's a part of me that really, really feels for these guys, right? Because what has society told them? We don't need you. We don't need your strength. We don't need your masculinity. Your masculinity is toxic.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bunch of hogwash.
Thank
for
you.
one. And that's not God's design. And, I can't affect everyone, right? I'm just trying to work in my little corner of the vineyard,
Yeah.
And so my initial thought was, okay, God's probably going to use me through the church. I'll be involved in some church, and that's where God will use me. So I've been involved in different churches for the last almost 20 years, doing different things, getting very involved. Like I'm not sitting on the sidelines. I'm going to jump in and I'm going to give 110%. And I thought for sure, okay, that's where God wants to use me, and more and more and more and more, everything that came along, it was like, okay, this is going to be it. Nope. And finally, this last year and a half, I've just taken the attitude of, hey, God, whatever you want. I'm done trying to go in the areas
that change it.
that I think you want me to work in. I'm done doing that. You just show me what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. Just show up, in other words.
Yeah. Just show me what I'm supposed to do. I got real content. I put it this way. I got real content being a little fish in a really big pond.
Yeah.
And fast forward to about 3 months ago, I'm at the range after a training event, and I'm out there by myself picking up brass, putting it in buckets, and thinking about, okay, how can I use this facility? How can I use what I have to better serve God? To do the mission that I feel He's called me to do. And I talked to some buddies. We'd kind of been in conversation about some different ideas and a Bible study and so on. And I'm sitting there picking up brass. It's like 100 degrees, and this idea this name, Bible Bullets and Bourbon,
I love it.
just like was downloaded into my mind, and
That's divine intervention.
yeah, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
do
you got
it,
it.
and of course there's the guys that are like, oh my gosh, how can you have a Bible and bourbon, all in the same sentence, and usually I find when I'm on the right track, when I'm doing something God wants me to do, there's generally well-meaning people who are like, I don't think you should do this, because X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've learned to take that criticism, pick out what I can use, pick out the cautions, right? And but then go ahead with the mission that God's given me to do, because
Yes,
at the end of the day, I have one commander, and
Yep.
that's who I'm serving.
Yep.
So,
He's the general. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
yeah, he's the king.
Well, is this does this occur every week?
No, so we're right now. It's once a month. So, the Sunday of the month kind of can move. So what we do is tomorrow, when we're wrapping up, probably at the kind of end of the Bible study time, we'll be like, hey guys, what week next month works for everybody?
Uh-huh.
And the guys that are there are going to be like, oh, okay, hey, I'm free, the second or third week, and then the three guys that are kind of helping me run it.
Okay, so you're doing Bible Bullets and Bourbon today
Yep.
at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Okay, and where do you do this? Where's your range?
So the range is off of Patterson Road. So if you take the 85 south, like you're going to Gila Bend off of I-10, and get off at Patterson Road, we're about 2 miles west of the 85, the Highway 85, on Patterson Road.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I believe on the flyer, I believe the address is there. It should be
29840
Yeah.
West Patterson Road.
correct.
I think Miss Kimberly's going to post that, or maybe have posted it on Facebook that you can see.
Yeah, and then from that so the range, because it's on a 1,100 acre private ranch, so there's no actual address where the range itself is. So from that address, you follow the sandwich signs up to the range gate.
So BYOB, his ladies and gentlemen, has been refined. You can bring your own Bible, bring your own bullets, or bring your own bourbon.
There you go.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I prefer if you bring all three.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not supplying the bourbon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally, there's more than enough to go around.
Well, it kind of concerns me. We have a mutual friend that would be Farmer Tyson Stewart down in Dendora Valley at Poca de Nero. It's kind of scary putting bourbon and bullets in front of Tyson. I mean, he's bad. I don't know that he drinks. I don't think he does. But the thought of that is just absolutely frightening.
Yeah. Well, so we do have some protocol, right? This isn't the Wild Wild West where
Well, it could be.
we're all strapped and armed up and having bourbon. It's not the scene from the Magnificent Seven or something like
it's
that.
like the Magnificent Seven rides again.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. So kind of the layout is we get there. I have a one of the guys that helps me run it, Nicholas LaRosa, runs LaRosa Training Services, and I can get you like links for his social media and stuff too if you want to tag him. he provides the structure for the training. So that's the bullets, right? We don't just show up and just, hey, everybody get up on the line and just blaze away.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure this.
We want some productive training out of it, so that we're getting better. So we show up. Usually there's some introductions made. Everybody gears up. They get all their stuff on. And then Nick will run us through some drills, some instruction for about an hour, maybe hour and a half. And then once that's done, once we've kind of done all the drills, we come back.
Let's back up the truck in just a minute. So we got to flip into a break here. Hold that thought, because I have some questions for you on that when we come back. Hey, I'm Don McDowell. This is Fox Sports 910. We are doing Bibles, Bullets, and Bourbon with our buddy Matt. We'll have more when we come back, so stay with us. Okay, we're visiting with Matt, Bible, Bullets, and Bourbon, and he's going through the curriculum for today's Bible study and handgun instruction. So you're getting back to it. So you have different scenarios for different holster arrangements? Is that what I mean?
Not so much different scenarios for different holster arrangements, just we're like today, we're working from concealment is the idea. So guys that want to come, bring what you carry normally, kind of like race night at the drag race, run what you brung, your daily driver. We're going to bring it out and we're going to run it, and we do require some sort of a holster typically, just because when you got 26 guys out there on the line, it can get a little hairy sometimes.
I would imagine. Yeah.
If we're not working.
Do you have
holster.
a dedicated range master as well as your instructor?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
we've got, like I said, Nicholas. He does the instruction. He's got a whole team of guys, and so they're watching safety. They'll step in if a guy needs a hand, and then today we're going to kind of open up like a separate little training area. If guys come and they just got their new gun, they haven't shot it before, maybe they're new to carrying a firearm, and we're gonna work with them separately to just kind of get them up to speed. Hey, this is the proper grip, kind of work through the fundamentals.
Yeah.
So that then the next event or whatever, they can get in on some of the drills. But
Well, with all the unrest we have, do you have a class on shooting with your left hand while you're driving, shooting out your truck window?
We don't have that yet.
Okay, work on it.
Yeah. But I know
It's not as easy as you think.
No, it's not. No, it is not. We may or may have done that before.
I've
but
heard people do
we
that.
don't have a class.
Okay.
Can neither confirm nor deny. What's
Yeah,
that?
I can't. I just,
Yeah.
the stuff you
So,
hear.
yeah, so we do the firearms instruction, the training, the drills, and Nicholas is world class. Trains government agencies, departments all over the country and the world. Like he's
Sweet.
trained people internationally. So
Yeah.
really good guy, hard worker, young man, loves the Lord.
Amen.
Working on all kinds of things. I mean, he's done martial arts. He's EMT. He's just really smart, well-rounded
Yeah.
young man. So we're really fortunate to be able to partner with him on this.
Is there associated fee or a cost?
Yeah, so we do a $50 fee, and that basically covers his cost, so his training and dinner. So
Dinner.
dinner.
Wow.
Tonight, my associate, so he I could say he works for me, but he doesn't get paid. So I don't know if he actually works for me or he just works with me.
With you. Yeah. I get it.
Is currently, as we speak, smoking brisket. So
Brisket.
brisket.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just knew you were going to say beans and hot dogs, but
No.
no.
No, we're not doing the hot dog yet.
Cool. And
So-
how long is the session?
So we run, like, the training's about an hour and a half, and then we will eat dinner. So the food will be ready. Once the training's over, everybody comes back to the shade, to the tables, packs up their gear, all guns, ammo, everything gets put away, so that section is sterilized, right? And
Cool.
then we'll do dinner.
Yep.
After dinner, and a little bit of chit chat, we'll jump into Bible study. Once Bible study is kind of wrapped up, then we
And I'm assuming
We break out the bourbon.
Bible has a protocol of what.
yeah. So this today is going to be sonship. So we're going to be studying our role, our place as sons of God. We're going to look at how we started as God created us. Like
Right.
we essentially came from God. Like So we're going to start there, and then obviously how we screwed that one up.
Yeah. We've done that throughout the course of the Bible.
Yeah. Well, and then we're going to just kind of briefly look at the results of that, of what we see in our world today that are the direct results of us basically rebelling against our Father.
Yes.
And then we're gonna look at how we can be redeemed from that, and how we can be restored fully to that place of sonship, that heirs of God. So
I'll tell you what, you have my 100% commendation on this. This is such a cool thing that you're doing. In the military days, there was a saying, "Praise the Lord and pass the bullets." It's I can see the tie-in, absolutely. The fellowship, I think, is needed.
Yeah, it is.
And young men need older men in their life, and older men need younger men in their life.
Sure do.
And when a guy gets to be my age, there's a lot of knowledge that need to be passed down. Not so much as what to do or how to act, but listen, Matt, here's a whole bunch of stuff I learned the hard way. Don't do
Don't
these
do
things.
this. Yeah.
Because it's not good.
Yeah.
And the voices in your head, forget it. That it might sound pretty cool, but you're going to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Very, very cool. How many people do you normally have at your
So I think we have 26 RSVP'd.
Wow.
For today.
That is very cool.
Yeah, I think we had 15 the first one. This is only our second event. We got 26.
And Tyson's going to be there?
Tyson's going to be there.
Give him blanks. You'll never know.
Very good. Yeah.
Well, I look forward. I can't get there today with all the stuff that's going on militarily with what I do. So, but I do look forward to. I'll give you my POC information. I really would like to come out and join.
Love to have you.
Yeah. Really get behind this thing. So we'll get you out on social media. When we come back, we're going to be talking with David Fields, formerly with Fishing the Americas. This guy has known him for 20 years. Great guy. Fished all over the place with him. He's fished all over the place, exotic destinations. So we're going to hear about fishing in Colombia, peacock bass, just all kinds of weird kind of fish that go bump in the night. So I'm Don McDowell here with
Matt Vanderhart.
And we'll be back. Stay with us.
So we were just talking about Bible bullets and bourbon, and the this week's focus on training is working from concealment, and then the Bible study is going to be on our sonship as sons of God, where we started with that as God's creation, where we got off when our first parents rebelled against God, and then how we get redeemed back. And then we were talking about what we have for dinner. Justin, my range help, is quite the barbecue chef, so he's cooking brisket right now, and then we'll have time for the Bible study, and then we'll after that is we get the bourbon out. Get some guys bring cigars, and we really just have a really good time for men to kind of fellowship, build one another up, network, and it's really good. It's a really good time.
Cool. Okay, we want to switch gears and go with David Fields. David, what's happening, my good friend?
Hey, my friend Don McDowell, how are you?
You know what? I was just telling my guest here, Matt. I mentioned it to you yesterday or day before, whatever it was. He's doing a Bible study, Bible bullets and bourbon, and you two are invited.
Awesome. I want to just take 1 minute here, and Don, I love to talk to you, and you know that as well as anybody how much I appreciate you and your ministry. But Matt, I want to say God bless you, brother, and your new ministry. I am so excited for you and pumped.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Well,
Bible, bullets, bourbon, and brisket. It doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any better.
That's good stuff.
I'm telling you, it is good stuff, Don. And, for years I've had a little tagline, a little hashtag that I've used around on social media called Living the Fanatic Life. And people have always thought that was just paying homage to catching these old great fin beasts that I chase around South America and wherever. But you know what fanatic life really is? Fanatic life is doing just what Jesus said. I'm going to make them fishers of men.
There you go.
Who better than who those men were and what they were doing than a place like that where guys are fishing together, than being able to have a time to minister to them in their deepest need. Yeah. And Matt, that's what you're doing. You're picking a perfect time to be able to celebrate man and celebrate their love of Jesus, and I'm just pumped. If you can't tell it by now, you never will.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
That's good stuff,
God
David.
Bless you.
And if you follow Jesus, he was teaching you how to catch fish.
Absolutely.
What side of the boat did Jesus fish out of?
What side of the boat? Side the fish were on.
No, always fished out of the right side of the boat. You go back and fact check that.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't fish out of the left side of the boat. All right. Well,
Don, I've missed being with you, my friend.
Yeah. Listen, we have your wonderful pictures that you sent. Tell us about your trip down to Colombia.
Well, I guess you and I started talking about my desires to go to Colombia back in 15 or 16, something like that. I wasn't real comfortable with it, and it took me a few years to get there. So finally in 23, I made my first trip into southeastern Colombia, and then again this year in February, my second trip down there. I've had some great fishing. I've had some great ministry time with some brothers. Caught some incredible species of fish that I'd never caught before. One that I had caught before but never caught a very big one this year was the paigara, and fishing it in the rapid waters of the Orinoco River and the tributaries of the Orinoco was just an outstanding time. These are fast water fish, and they like to get airborne. And for those that may not know them by another name, they're also known as the vampire fish because of their two big old teeth in the front. But let me tell you, they got a bony mouth. They're hard to get hooked up and stay hooked up. But when you do manage to get one, they're a prize to keep, I'm sure.
Oh yeah! Wow! Yeah, that's a unique species for sure.
It is. And we caught peacock bass. Caught another species I'd never caught before, which was this called a sardinita. And they don't get real big, 4 or 5 pounds maybe, but they just love to get active on the surface. And they are fun with a big old chug bug or some kind of a surface popper. They school, so you get 3 or 4 of them going at the same time. Not unusual to catch 2 on the same time at the same strike, and
really,
that was a lot of fun as well. That was the gold-looking one that I sent you the picture of.
Yeah. I'm sitting here looking at them. Wow.
So this trip was on the, as I said, it was right along. In fact, we stayed in a local indigenous lodge right on the Orinoco River on the Colombian side, and fished our way inland predominantly each day from that river lodge. Of course, where the river comes into the main river was a lot of the area that we fished for payara. And then we went anywhere from 25 to 50 miles on upriver, fishing for peacocks on the Tomo and the Taraqui rivers. So,
what was the peacock in the photograph? What was the weight on that guy? Is that a 20-pounder?
The one in the picture I sent to you,
yeah.
It's just a little under 20 probably, something like that. We had, I think we had one fish in the group this trip that went over 20. The trip in 23, really to an area a little further south and southeast from where we were this trip, was on the Caño Bacon River, and that river really produced the giants. We had half a dozen fish over 20 pounds. I think the biggest one was 23 and a half. My biggest one was 22 and a half, almost 23 on that trip.
Wow.
And it's a river known for big sea timorous peacock bass. You don't catch a lot of fish in that river. I mean, you don't have a lot of numbers activity, but the fish you do catch are generally high teeners and on up. So that was a great trip. This trip for me, this one in February, was really to target the larger payara. I got one that was right at 20 pounds. Anything 20 pounds and above is considered trophy class for that fish. And so that was another bucket list place where I got checked off, and that was great.
What was the weight on that vampire fish? That looks like a fair
20 pounds.
How many?
Right at 20 pounds.
Yikes.
They are, and like I said, you might consider them a little bit to be like a small tarpon. That's the kind of aerobatics and runs that these fish will produce. But you got to remember, you're fishing them it's about as turbulent a water as you can imagine. Kings Canyon kind of water. Grand Canyon kind of waters, where the turbidity of the water is just incredible, and so that makes the fight even more so.
Well, exactly. And we talk about it here on Don McDowell Outdoor Radio. It's not about the catch and the killing or the harvesting. For the most part, it's a chase. And when you get on these rivers and you catch a big fish like that's used to that's been raised in a river situation, they have muscles where other fish don't even think they have a muscle. And these guys are just bad boys. And then you couple that with the speed and the aggressiveness of the current of the river that you're in, you got a handful. I don't care who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me touch on one other thing with this trip, Don. Something that, after doing this as you and I have been friends for 20 years, and
You
some
know,
of our first
exactly.
times together.
Yeah.
And I go back, I guess my first trip out of the country and what I call the hook that really set it on me for international fishing was into Honduras in '75. But here's the thing that I have come to, and I think I have come to it over the last several years, but more so this year maybe than any other. I love the chase, you know that. I love catching big fish, and I love catching all different species and varieties of fish. But the time spent with 8 or 10 or 12 guys over a week to 10 days in community together and listening to each other's life stories and stuff they're dealing with, I have come to believe that the greatest catch that I've been able to achieve on any of these trips is simply the friendships and the camaraderie with these guys that I've had the opportunity to minister to and love on, and just I had one man. His name was Tom. Tom was, when I met him, was 56 years old, had just retired. Tom and I sat and talked on the veranda down at Lake Wheaties at Trophy Bass Lodge. Tom told me about a mission trip when he was in high school as a kid. Said it was the most impacting thing in his life. And now that he was retired, he said, I want to experience that again. I happened to know of a mission trip at that time that was available. Long story short, Tom went on that mission trip. Come to find out, it was within 100 miles of where that mission trip he went to when he was in high school took place. Come back from that mission trip, and he told me, he said, I've had two powerful events in my life outside of my marriage and my children. And he said, these were the two most powerful events, and they took place within 100 miles of each other. You get to, with guys, and you get to talking about things like that, and that tops all the big fish, the fish stories that you can come up with.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you to hang on. We've got to flip into a hard break. Can you stay with us for a couple minutes?
I'll be there.
Okay, we'll be right back. More of David Fields. I want to respond to that and get Matt's idea on what David's talking about. I'm Don McDowell. This is Fox Sports 910. We'll be right back. I so much appreciate your story on the camaraderie and the fellowship that we're able to do. I have a couple of gentlemen in my life that Jim Lawrence is one, and my buddy RC. You know, we're doing a lot of we hunt together. We're doing wildlife projects together. But I tell you what, at the end of the day, it's just a pleasure to know those guys. They have enriched my life considerably, and you as well. We've known each other for 20 years, 21 years, whatever it's been now. And yeah, man, it's really interesting. Before I met David, I didn't care anything about raccoons, but I've become very fond of raccoons.
That sounds like a story.
Now you gotta know there's a big story behind that.
Oh
somewhere.
yeah, and I still got my raccoon cap too.
Very good.
Ask him to show you a picture of it sometime, Matt. We had a great time on the Don McDowell radio show, Shake, Rattle, and Troll down there on the banks of Lake Pleasant one time.
Oh my God, that was 18 years of big bass days. I'm telling you.
Great times, my friend. Great times.
I'll tell you what. We're lucky. Like you, I've known a lot of guys that we fished competitively against and with. And that said, I want to send out a good wish to our buddy Matt Shura. He had intestinal surgery, but got a couple of notes and a photograph. He's been released. The surgery was successful, and we pray that he has a speedy recovery and going to do well. So anyway,
you bet.
And he's one of those guys. I mean, we sit here and go on and on. Matt, I'm sure you're the same way. I mean, the men in your life that you bond with, there's not a lot of them necessarily, but these special bonds are you take them to your grave. So
yeah.
All right. So where's your next trip, David?
Don, my next trip is going to stay right here on the North American continent in the good old United States. In September, I'm going up to North Carolina. And I'm going to fish right on the outbound edge of the Neuse River.
Redfish. Yeah.
Redfish country. Yeah, I've fished, as you well know, I've fished Venice for 12 or 13 years now, and I love it, fishing off the Delta down there. But golly gee, between the pogey boats and high waters coming down the Mississippi and just a number of things, the fishing's been off a bit, and I have had an invite twice to go up and fish the Neuse River, and been encouraged to do it by my great friend Mark Davis with Big Water Adventures, and so I've got a trip lined up with a guy that I met a couple of years ago, and we fished together in Columbia. His name's Rich Calcutt. Rich and I are going up to fish the Neuse River for 4 days with Captain Greg Hildreth, and I'm really, really looking forward to some of those Neuse River monster redfish.
Yeah. What kind of gear are you going to be taking up there?
That will be predominantly 2,500 minimum up to 4,500 spinning reels on 7.5 foot medium heavy rods, 40-pound braid, and we'll be fishing probably mostly plastics under a popping cork. However, some of those brutes up there love to tackle the big walking dogs on top water. If you can get a good bright orange belly out there, and the conditions are right, it is craziness, and I'm looking forward to maybe hitting that just right. September's supposed to be the month, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you'll have to get back to us, and that's that whole Delta area back there is just such a unique environment. I can't say enough about it. Madison's scary place. There's gators and snakes, and there's people with shotguns and no teeth, and you get around their dock, you need to keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to stop.
Or one,
just there.
or one teeth, or one tooth.
Tooth.
Yeah.
And it's sharp.
Well, we had
It's
years ago. I don't remember off the top of my head what year it was, but they were fishing that Louisiana Delta, the Bassmaster Classic, and the TV boats were taking gunfire.
Wow.
They do. It's kind of like it used to be in the years ago up in Appalachia, and no revenuers allowed around here. And if I don't know who you are, you're going to be considered a revenuer.
Yes, sir. I love it.
Yeah, those are some real.
Don, it's always great to be with you, my friend. We've had a lot of good times together. I thank the good Lord for our mutual friend Wildville Skinner introducing us
God love him.
together in August of about 2005 or four, about
I think it was
2004, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a great time that time, and we've had a lot of them since.
Yeah, you just can't say enough about Wild Bill, kid. You know, I know this is going to sound kind of stupid. He passed away years and years ago. I still got his phone number in my phone.
Yeah. 2007. He was a man that came to the Lord late in life. Came to the Lord through the 12-step program, but became quite a witness in his later years. And I go back to the same thing I started with. Sometimes you find your most encouraging moments when you find out what the real heart of that person that you think you know something about.
Yeah.
And in those little trips when you can get together with guys and just huddle down together and everybody can just pour out their hurts, habits, and hang-ups to each other and be in an environment where they know they're safe, you can do a lot
Yeah.
ministry.
Well, that's exactly what Matt's doing. And like you, my hat's off to Matt. And Matt, I seriously, I want to be an asset. So you use this platform any way you want to.
Appreciate that.
Anytime.
I just think you got it by the tail, Matt. I'm praying for you, brother, and God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to wish you the best the rest of the weekend. We got to keep moving here. And what are you guys hearing about Iran? Any fallout in your neighborhood?
I haven't been out amongst the neighbors so far, so to speak. But Don, we don't know the precarious situation that we may be in right now. But the one thing about it that we do know, he knows exactly where we are.
Yeah.
And I put my faith and my trust in him and know that he, through the Holy Spirit, influences those that are looking out for us. And I think that's the way I'm going to live my life.
Yeah, buddy. Well, I can tell you this. I know the Ayatollah has joined ranks with Saddam Hussein and General Custer. Their last words were,
"There you go.
Where'd all those tomahawks come from?" Boom!
Oh, my.
All
you got to love it.
I'll talk to you. You keep in touch. And when are you going to do the redfish thing?
September. Let's get back together when I get back I'll be back late September, so sometime in maybe early October.
Are you planning on going to ICAST?
I'm not going to make it this year, Don.
I'm not going to make it either. We've got the Arizona Cattle Growers Association summer meeting, and we got so much crap going on here that that's a week. And, so anyway, we'll keep in touch. God bless you, David.
I was blessed. I appreciate it, Don. I was blessed to go do the marriage for my granddaughter this summer up in Illinois, and now I got to go to Kentucky for a cousin. So I'm going to miss ICAST.
Okay, God love you. We got to go.
God bless you, guys.
Yes, sir. We'll be back after a short break and get the next going with Coffee and Chaos. All righty, we're back with Coffee and Chaos. I know General Chaos is like a bad rash. He's all over the place. My best guess is Sheriff Wynn's got his hands stuck in the pickle jar. And Captain Chaos says that, he's like a raccoon. Once he gets hold of that pickle, he won't turn loose of it, so his hand gets stuck in a pickle jar. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Sure, Don. Hey, don't comment, Don. Don, we decided we're going to change Coffee and Chaos name to Coffee and Chaos Tomahawks and Bunker Bombs.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Okay, I will.
So-
I will get that opener affected this week.
So Don, there's been some reports of multiple new craters popping up in Iran lately. It seems like they might because of some flags on the field have caused some strikes on their nuclear facilities.
Boom,
What do you think?
shakalaka, yeah.
Yeah. Well, some of the satellite images show that the circular blast scars around the Fordown nuclear facility are about 100 feet across, 300 feet plus deep. But in all seriousness, the operation used advanced deception tactics with over, I don't even know if you know this, over 120 plus aircraft. And the first deployment of the GBU 28 and 57 bunker buster bombs. I'm not sure if you knew about that.
Yeah, did they actually use the 28s?
Yeah, they used the 28 and the 57 in the series.
Okay, I knew they were, the only thing they've talked about is the GBU 57 MOPA. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a two-bomb series, right? So
Yeah.
the first one's the laser guided, which does the initial blast, and then followed by the GBU 57, which just annihilates everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you
Good time.
heard there obviously was a earthquake magnitude number. Do you know what that was?
Do say that again?
Well, there's got to be a earthquake magnitude number, or from the earthquake guys, because that had to be quite a shake.
Oh, the seismic activity from it?
Yeah, seismic
I can
activity.
only
Thank you.
imagine what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Crazy.
Been a nice little glow in the sky, though.
Yeah. Did you see the video?
I mean, it's like, hey, look, a new sun's rising. That's kind of cool.
I figured we can use our Coffee and Chaos introduction, and then for the video be that explosion for the Coffee and Chaos.
Yeah.
But it needs to be shooting like coffee beans in the air along with it.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, Don's going to say coffee beans and pickles, but,
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Okay, Sheriff.
sure there's
Listen, I want to introduce you to my guest here, my new friend, Matt Vanderhart, has a Bible study called Bibles, Bullets, in Bourbon. I mean, this is a real life deal. It's really cool, and I would say, Sheriff, this would be a good thing to you to start up there in Montana.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously you definitely could, that'd be kind of fun. Matt, is there a web page for you there, bud?
I don't have a web page for it yet. We're just doing like on Instagram.
Roger.
It's Bible_bullets_bourbon. And then I'm pushing that out through some of my other social media, like for the
Nice.
range as well. So yeah.
Absolutely. But I will get on and check you out, brother. We'll see
Yeah.
what we can do there.
Yeah.
Because I do, I like all three of those. So, those are big things to me. So,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to say that bullets outweigh the bourbon, but there's a tomato. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, you got to keep everything balanced.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, we are essentially God-fearing, gun-toting, bourbon-drinking guys. Yep. Does that count?
Yeah, absolutely.
Flag waving, drum beating. Yeah.
You know, it's funny because right now one of my flags flying says, what's it say? God, guns, and Trump.
There you go.
So, yeah, I'm sure my neighbors love it. I don't care.
Yeah, we talked about this about a month ago, but I had a Palestinian flag flying in my neighborhood. It's gone.
I wonder how that happened.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was divine intervention.
Tornado?
Probably a haboob.
Could be a tornado. You know, there's a lot of tornadoes going around right now.
Yeah.
Could have just come in and sucked that thing right out of there.
Or it could have been all the yard.
I don't
yard
know. You know, the tornado was one thing, but I don't know how the black cross in his grass got there. It just, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what event are you guys going to today?
Well, it's kind of chilly here. We're not sure what we're going to do yet because it's 46 degrees, and the wind's blowing, and it's just kind of cold. We got snow up in Glacier Park and up in the northwest corner. And I saw there's a place somewhere southwest Montana that got quite a bit of snow too.
You know, we're staring. You know, we've had 114 up to 118. I've seen 120 on my truck, and you're talking about 46 degrees.
Yeah, you'd have to have a park on.
Yeah,
we would for sure.
Well, we were up in Dillon, Montana yesterday. There's a big show going up there. There's, I don't know, 5,000-6,000 people up there. I was up at the 406 Armory. We had a bunch of Montana 406 rifles up there on display. But anyways, I don't know the gentleman's name, but this guy goes around and buries gold and jewels and stuff, and he just did a book.
He's a pirate. Pirates do that.
Yeah, he's doing it yesterday, and I mean, it brought a lot of attention into Dillon, Montana. People getting this book and going to go out and do this treasure hunt thing. Ashley's really into it. She was trying to show me yesterday while I was trying to do some work and keep up on what's going on overseas. Like, the book signing was important to me, but God bless her. I know she loves that stuff. But yeah, that was our day yesterday.
How many people showed up for the book signing?
Oh God, there probably had to be 3,000-4,000 plus people that were standing in line early in the morning when I got there just to get this book signed.
Wow.
So we had a lot of foot traffic. We had a lot of foot traffic over at the 406 Armory downtown Dillon. We did pretty good with doing this raffle for Soda Arms. Again, if people don't know, we're doing a fundraiser. It's a raffle, not a fundraiser. A raffle.
It is a fundraiser. I mean, we're raffling off a rifle to get funds for Soda to get back to social mobility.
Yeah, so we did that yesterday. We had some pretty good money for it. So, this is going on, I think, until July 19th, this raffle. You can go to 406 Coffee and Chaos. Check it out. It's a 300 blackout. It's got custom Cerakoting on it. We're putting an optic on it from Vector Optics, thanks to Dean and Tan. And the rifle's valued about, once we get the optic, everything on it, it'd be $2,800 plus. So
wow.
Get 6 raffle tickets for $100. Kind of worth it.
Matt, what they're talking about, our friend Dave at Soda Arms, that's the acronym for State of the Arts, had a fire. And was that determined it was an electrical fire?
Yeah, it was an electrical fire. Yeah, okay. It happened back on May 11th.
Oh, okay.
How much damage actually was done to the facility?
Oh, it destroyed their north building. There's nothing left other than concrete. All they're missing was a guided missile to take the rest of that out.
Okay, well, maybe we can get him on at some point and talk about his tragedy and recovery. So, how many people came into Dillon's? Only got showing a 2024 census is just under 4,300 people. So it sounds like they double their population.
Yeah, there's a college there. I mean, I think that the census is the static number for those folks down there. But University of Montana Western is in Dillon, so there's a lot of what I call transient traffic there. But it's right off of I-15 in the southern part of Montana there. So there's a good possibility that there's you can get quite a few in there. One of the largest rodeos in Montana is Dillon's Rodeo on Labor Day. That's a pretty big event down there. So they're kind of used to having people come in.
Okay, but let me ask you this: Have you fished on Beaverhead ever?
I have not.
Okay, that's supposed to be a pretty premier river, actually.
Yep. Yeah, I know that. I was just watching because I'm trying to figure out how to adjust my my fishing stuff there, my store here in town, and I've been watching a lot. There's been quite a bit of nice trout being caught down there at Clark Fork Dam or Clark Fork Reservoir, whatever it's called, Clark Canyon Reservoir, I think is what it is. But there's been a lot of nice trout I've seen on social media that have been getting caught down there. And I talked to a guy just on the subject of fish, and I talked to a guy that fished the Tiber Reservoir Walleye Tournament, and I can't remember the number that he gave me, but there was like 6 walleye that were caught during that tournament that were over 34 inches long.
Wow!
And there was quite a few that were over 30, but in a 2-day tournament, I think the people who won it had, you get 5 fish a day, and they ended the tournament with like 171 pounds of walleye.
Good grief.
Those are, I mean, they're catching some monster walleye.
Was there a fish fry at the end?
A lot of them, they have to come in alive and then they release them. So,
okay.
I mean, that's the way ours is here. Next Saturday, actually, is the start of our Sunrise Walleye Tournament here in Townsend. We'll see how that pans out. A lot of our smaller walleye that we had a couple years ago, now they're starting to put on some size, and they've got some regulations on it to regulate it better, so we're not losing all those good fish. People were taking, they caught a couple 20 inchers, they were taking them home, and now you can only keep one over 16. So
wow.
Yeah,
so that's excellent table fare. I don't care who you are. That's a good fish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Well, I'm gonna wish you guys the best the rest of the weekend. We'll talk next week, and remember this: jihad works both ways.
Sounds good, John. We'll see you, Don.
Okay, we'll talk next week, gentlemen. Thank you so much. God bless you. Coffee and Chaos with Chemo and Sheriff Wynn. Great guys doing a lot of good stuff and making the USA a better place to be. So
there you go.
That said, we're gonna stand down. When we come back, we're gonna introduce Matt to Chris Rich, another godly guy that I'm just curious what he's gonna say about the Triple Bs. So
there you go.
We'll be right back with Chris Rich here on Fox Sports 910. All right, we're going where the adventure begins, and that's AZ Fly Shop with owner-operator, fly fishing aficionado, Chris Rich. What's happening, my brother?
Hey, Don McDowell. Well, I'll tell you what's happening is I'm getting packed up to head down to Brazil and go out into the jungle, stay in the Kaiapó village called Kenjam. We're going to be fishing the headwaters of the Iriri River.
Nice. We just had David Fields just briefed us on a trip down there in Brazil. He doesn't fly fish. He's pretty big on great big spinning reels, for the kind of stuff
Yep.
Yeah, so anyway, that's cool. How long are you going to be down there?
We're say again?
How long is your trip?
Trip is going to be 7 days out in the jungle. So we'll go out on next Saturday morning, and we come back the following Saturday.
Nice.
So we take off from here on Wednesday. We have a pretty easy flight to get down there. We go from here to Miami direct to Manaus. The trip home, we've got to stop. It's kind of a zigzag to get ourselves home, so it's going to be a few extra stops along the way to get home. But getting down is going to be pretty easily. We'll spend a day in Manaus. We'll do a little city tour of Manaus. We'll go out and see the Amazon and where the Rio Negro meet. Kind of an interesting spot. The water temperature is, almost 10 degrees difference on those two rivers, and they stay separated for several miles going downstream because of that water temperature and the causes a differentiation on the weight of that water. Anyhow, fishing's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be an unbelievable experience. Can't wait to report on what happens with that.
Well, yeah, I'm anxious to hear that. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Have you had a chance to look and see if there's any travel alerts that have popped up in the last 24 hours?
I have not. I do know that they had Brazil on a little bit of a travel alert. I'm not sure exactly why there was a little travel alert going on there, but here, I'm not too worried about it. I tell you, when we show up there, they're waiting for us with a sign at the airport.
Yeah.
And they are with us the entire time. I mean, it's. I think if there's any trouble, they're keeping us. They're keeping us on the other side.
Well, that travel alert had to do with several countries down there that neighbor one another. That was drug lord activity and related.
Yeah, it's funny how most of that activity like that is generally involves drugs, right?
Yeah, you think. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing, huh?
Well,
it's amazing.
While I've got you, I want to introduce you to our new friend, Matt Vanderhart here. He has a very unique Bible study that I think you can appreciate. It's called Bible, Bullets, and Bourbon.
I love it.
I
love it.
I knew you would.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Something real life there. Hey, back home, anyhow, what's happening back home? I'll tell you what, just a couple of days ago, Apache Sitgraves closed down a big section of the forest up there in the White Mountains. It's not really, they didn't close down the entire forest. They closed down some big sections of the forest.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact on most of the fishing, at least at the lakes. You're still allowed to get to the lakes and fish at the lakes. But if you're traveling up to the high country, make sure you check out the Forest Service website for closures. Fire danger is it's really, really scary up there how dry things are. And that's why they closed the forest down, was fire danger.
Yeah.
I noticed yesterday they had another fire pop up just next to Willow Springs Lake. Imagine that. It's they've got the fire restrictions have been going on, and I get reports from people talking about people out there smoking cigarettes, flicking butts out their windows. People don't pay attention oftentimes. So
yeah, they're called idiots. They voted for Joe Biden.
Yeah, I was talking to Cindy yesterday. And she says, I was driving down Dirt Road, and I literally watched somebody right in front of me flick a cigarette out their car, and I went back and stopped, it was still smoking. I smashed it, picked it up, smashed, put it out. So this is how these things get started. I'm sure you got a fire up there by Willow Springs as a man-made fire.
Yeah.
Got to about 15 acres. It looks like they got it shut down, but we got to be careful. It's a very dangerous time right now, and hopefully we get some moisture coming up. So
okay, have they moved beyond stage 2?
Well, they've closed down Apache Sitgraves, most of it. The big swaths have been closed down.
Okay.
So yeah, they've actually, and again, it's you really got to go to the website and look at what they've closed down. But they've closed down some of the higher traffic areas. It's it's in the White Mountains. It's a lot of the Baldy Wilderness area that they've closed down.
Yes, sir.
So it's if you're headed that direction, I would strongly recommend you take a look at it. Exercise caution, check your chains. Hey, listen, I like to smoke cigars when I'm outside there fishing, but during this type of thing, those cigars stay in the car. They don't come out. We got to pay attention. And
well, let me ask
part.
Matt: is cigars protocol at?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no fire danger there.
Yeah, usually if the word bourbon's in there, cigars are probably acceptable.
Yeah, right next door.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some other stuff going on up there. We have eco-terrorists now, the pro-woofers slicing up water tanks and damaging water troughs and pipelines in favor of the gray wolves. And I'm telling you, this is coming to a head in New Mexico and needs to come to a head in Arizona, so you're going to be hearing a lot about it. So if you see something up there, say something. Winks at risk. Judy Cheney just lost a 10,000-gallon tank, and unfortunately the politicians and some of the other folks involved in it got their heads so far stuck up their pipes that they can't see the forest for the trees. But there is a social media.
What are they doing to water? What are they doing to water tanks?
They took a skill saw and sliced it up. Holes like in patch, but we're gonna try to get up there to. I've got a HDPE welding apparatus that we're gonna try on that with some other stuff and see if we can't save that tank. It's crazy. I don't get these guys. They're killing water for wildlife. They don't care about the wildlife. All they care about is their Subaru, their Starbucks, and their Birkenstocks, and these gosh damn wolves. So. It's about time to stop it. So you're going to be hearing and seeing some stuff coming out of Don McDowell Outdoors and our activist programs. They have pissed me off to no end, and we're going after them. So anyway.
Yeah, well, that'd be good. Anybody that's willing to cut up a water trough in this type of climate, that seems like I'm not even sure you can fix that, can you?
No, well, I don't know. We're going to try. The water tanks are pretty expensive, but I did figure out a way. A friend of mine called me. He says, "Well, you know how to cure that?" I said, "How's that?" He says, "If you want to keep them from cutting your tank, you catch one of them and hang them up on the tank." So
yeah, there you go.
I'm just saying. It's like wow.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I wish you the best on your trip. You're going to be down there next week.
Yeah, I'm going to be down next week. I should be. I don't know what the phone situation is going to be. We'll play it by ear. I will do my best to touch base with you prior to the Sunday morning. I think I'll be out in the jungle on Saturday.
Okay.
And so if we've got the satellite set up there, and I can get on the phone, we'll get on the phone from the jungle out there in Kenjam.
Yeah.
Should be pretty wild. Some of these trips, you'll have the satellite phone and it's no big deal, and some of them you won't. But we'll be a long ways out into the jungle, so it's going to have to be something through satellite, and we'll just see where it's at. Like I say, I'll try to touch base with you before the show comes on, let you know if it's going to work or not.
Okay. Well, watch out for pygmies. Yeah,
I'll be watching out for pygmies. If you don't hear from me next Sunday, then I'll be hopefully the following Sunday. I'll be on the travel home and give you a report on what the trip was.
Okay, if I
And
don't
be
hear,
looking for some
if I don't
social
hear
media.
from you in 9 days, I'm coming looking for you.
I like it. I like having those odds.
Okay, well that's the kind of friend you have. So, all right,
Don
my
McDowell,
brother.
I appreciate all you do.
Yeah, likewise, buddy. You stay safe.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Okay, Chris Rich, you got to meet this guy. Awesome individual. He's got a fly shop that's 30. Let's see, it's just west of the Area 51 highway on Cactus on the north side of the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nice shop. Nice. They've got all kinds of instructions, and fly fishing is one of those things that you get close to God.
Yeah.
I'm serious. You have a lot of solitary time and a lot of quiet time.
Yeah.
And if you're quiet, you can hear him.
You can hear him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That said, we're going to go back to flip into another little break here. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to James Guggenauer, the master rod builder for Rim Country Custom Rods, and he's an AZGFD commissioner. Wow.
Fantastic.
All right. We'll be right back here on Fox Sports 910. All right, James Guggenauer, downtown Payson, where the weather, Matt, is a hell of a lot cooler than it is here. James, what's happening up there in downtown Payson?
Hey, good morning, Don. 57 degrees here this morning. Going to get to a high of 80. So we're having a nice week. Going to warm up a little bit more next week, though.
Well, I've been talking with. I want to introduce you to Matt here. Matt's doing a very unique Bible study, and I know you're a fan of that. Bibles, Bullets, and Bourbon out in Buckeye. So, I mean, man, he's got it going on.
I've been listening online. Pretty good. Congratulations on the Instagram account. I hope that thing expands a lot. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Well, it scares me because our friend Tyson Stewart's going today. It's just like, oh, no. He needs to go, but anyway, 2 Bs. Okay, never mind. I'm going to quit picking on Tyson. What's the fishing conditions there on Roosevelt? And before we go there, I'm sure you've heard Matt Shura had a successful surgery procedure and seems to be doing quite well.
Yes, wonderful. Praise the Lord for that.
Amen.
There's one of your things you can include in your next prayer session, Matt, for sure, because our good friend Matt Shara has been struggling with this for about a year and maybe even a little bit longer than that, so glad that was all good. As far as the fishing, it is summertime fishing conditions on Roosevelt. Everybody knows that. The water is getting drawn down about 1% each week now. 1% on Roosevelt Lake is about 2,000 acre feet per day that gets taken out of Roosevelt Lake for needs down in the valley. So with that, the water is pretty stable. There's not a lot of water flowing in. The Salt River is flowing at less than 100 cubic feet per second. The Tonto, which is interesting, Don, I was looking at the report this week. Typically this time of year, because of monsoon rains, the Tonto is starting to flow a little bit. Now this year it's been 0. So it just indicates, or another indicator of how important those monsoon rains are. That's the only thing that's going to fix the situations in rim country. I heard Chris Rich talking about stage 2 restrictions on the Apache sit grays. The Tonto still has stage 1 restrictions in place. We need moisture in a bad way across northern Arizona. And just pray that we get some rain that's going to fix everything. But the fishing conditions for the lake are still summer, so people are fishing deep. Now, that's good and bad. Good in that you can catch some pretty nice fish when you're fishing 30, 40 feet of water on like a Carolina rig with a big 10-inch worm, a big jig, even drop shots with some big baits on. You can do that fishing. But when you catch fish that big, as you know, Don, we've talked about this before, it is imperative that you care for those fish when you get them to the surface.
Absolutely.
In some cases, in some cases you might have to let the air out of their bladder. They make a little tool that you can buy to do this because a swim bladder will come up in its mouth. You got to get that fish back down. If you can release it and it swims right back down, they're very successful. Let that go. I've even seen guys take hooks that they have that are barbless and take the fish back down and just let it go. Let the barbless hook fall out. But you've got to know what you're doing if you're going to be fishing fish that deep, and make sure you care for them. Tournament guys know this all too well. How we struggle in the summertime in Arizona with tournaments and care for the fish. It's a big deal out here.
Wow. Yeah, I've been over running back and forth to Tonto Basin, Globe, Kearney, Winkleman, Dudleyville. I'm starting to feel like a bad rash. I'm all over the place, and I never know when I'm going to pop up next.
You were in Payson, right?
Oh yeah, we went through Payson. Oh my God, in that traffic jam they've got up on the 260 is just it's killing people right and left. ADOT does the best job they can, but somebody needs to be kicked in the butt the way they're handling that deal up there.
Yeah, the good news is, Don, there is funding for those that aren't familiar with what Don's talking about. Coming down into Star Valley, there's a section of road on the State Route 260 that is still a 2-lane highway, and there is funding. ADOT's going to begin to expand that to 4 lanes, and probably more importantly, they're going to put some elk fencing, which is 8-foot tall fencing,
nice,
on either side of that stretch of road. I mean, there's so many elk that get whacked right through that area. That
yes, sir.
It's bad.
Well, when I go to Heber, I always take my ice chest and getting ready to call the WM for my predation permit. Yeah. That's where Matt gets his supper out there at. Anyway, it's all good.
Things are out in a cooler. Can't beat that.
Yeah, listen, I want to thank you for not giving me a deer tag this year again, but I did get a turkey tag, so thank you for that.
Hey, good. I was going to remind everybody that you might not be formally notified, but if you put in for any of the recent hunts, you might want to check your credit card. I'm getting, and I'll call it 50-50, maybe not 50-50, maybe a little bit less than 50-50, but some people are thanking me for, in one case, getting drawn for bighorn sheep after 34 years of trying.
Wow.
But a lot more cases like Don McDowell that are thanking me for nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I just deposited $13 for your Christmas fund.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, let's get down to the serious stuff today. We're at Pocono. Who's your pick? Who's your host?
Is this a crazy year, or is it just me? It seems like just when you think things are settling down, and Hendricks Motorsports is dominating like they normally do, then all of a sudden they can't make one lap around the deal without a breakdown.
I'm telling you, I'm getting so upset with Hendricks. When you can't beat Bubba Wallace, you need to put your car up on a jack, take the wheels off, and go to Waffle House. It's over. No.
I love it. Yep. So I don't know. Today I'm going to sit back and just enjoy the race and wait for your text in the afternoon. That's the biggest thing for my Sunday afternoon.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I've been a fan for some reason of Cole Custer. He's a nice kid. He's going to be a great, and he's in the number 5 spot starting off. But Hocevar has been, a threat, and then you got what's his name? Christopher Bell still beating on the door. I mean, that kid is so good. So, and Denny Hamlin, I can't wish him anything good. And Bubba's down there. He's starting 34th. So, my guess is he'll finish 23rd like he normally does. Hit something. See, Wall Ace. Yeah. What's in a name? All right. Anything else to add?
No, we are doing good. We don't have a commission meeting in July, so there's a little bit of a reprieve for the commission. We will tell everybody that during our June meeting, the commission has voted our next chairperson is going to be Marcia Sue, and our vice chair is going to be Jeffrey Buchanan.
Whoa.
So stay tuned in August for their new leadership of the commission.
I'm going to have to practice up. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Madam Chair. I'm practicing myself.
Okay. I need to get with you. We've got a social media storm coming on the Mexican Gray Woods. I'm sure you don't want to hear that, but it's coming down hard, so we'll talk.
I have been reading some of that, and I'm always available to talk about that subject.
Okay. Well, I don't want you to get blindsided. I don't want you or the commission to get blindsided, but it's going to be coming down pretty hard here. There's a bunch of folks going to Washington, so film at 11.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, James, God love you. I appreciate all you do for us. And remember this, jihad works both ways. So.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Don.
All right. God bless you. All right, James Kukenauer doing a great job as a commissioner. This guy builds an excellent bass rod. He's kind of been off because the commission takes awful lot of volunteer time. So
Sure.
Anyway, we're going to get this thing wrapped up, come back, finish up with our friend Matt, Bibles, Bullets in Bourbon, and get on with the day. I'm Don McDowell. This is Fox Sports 910. All righty, pass the Lord, or praise the Lord, pass the ammunition. You can do that with Bibles, Bullets, and Bourbon with Matt. Give everybody your contact information again, how to get a hold of you, where the range is, when the Bible study is, all that good stuff.
All right, so we got our Instagram is Bible_bullets_bourbon.
Okay.
Or you can follow us too at Range 2131 on Instagram. Range2131.com is our website for the range. And if you're interested in firearms training, you can go to the website, sign up for the email, and we send out once a month we send out an email of all the training that we know is booked.
Okay.
So we don't do any we don't sell any training through us. So we just provide the information. Hey, go to this link.
So you have other companies come out and provide the training?
Yeah. So they
so like to my point, you have a CCW class that's put on by somebody.
Yeah. Yep. So like La Rosa Training Services they call me and say, hey, we want to book the range for this date. We're going to do pistol 1 and 2. Okay.
Okay.
I put it on the schedule, and then I put that out in my email, and any people that have signed up for the email get that, and they're like, oh, that I want to do pistol 2. I did pistol 1 last year. I want to do pistol 2.
Yeah.
Or TaxSafe AZ will come and do. I think they're booked for a night class in July, so they'll come out and do a night vision operator class. And we'll put that on the email. Warrior Poet Society is coming in November, so that's in the email. So email's a good way to stay up to date on on what training is coming out to the range.
Okay, and how do I get that email?
Go to range2131.com.
Got it. Okay.
And you can sign up for the email. There's a button, click sign up for the email, punch your email in. It sends that information to us. We add you to the email list, and then usually between the 10th and the 15th of the month, you get an email in your inbox.
Okay. Here's a question. What is not allowed to be shot at your range?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Okay. What about automatic weapons?
Automatic weapons are fine.
50 calibers.
We've shot 50 cals.
Okay.
We've shot 40 millimeter mics. We've shot. We had a group reach out about shooting a 20 millimeter recoilless rifle system. I tell people, like, hey, let's do dangerous things carefully. Like, let's train the way we need to train. Let's shoot the things.
RPGs are good?
Yeah.
Oh,
let's go.
RC, we got it, buddy.
Obviously, I'm sure you're not going to be shooting, ballistic RPGs, but
don't say that.
Depends on what we're shooting at. Like if we want to put one in the berm, yeah, fine.
No, you put one in the back window.
Yeah, if you put one in, and we can do that. Like I'll source vehicles to do different classes with. So I've got a PT Cruiser out there right now. Who doesn't want to shoot a PT Cruiser?
I'm saying. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I obviously want to be safe. Do dangerous things carefully, right?
Of course.
You want to be safe. But like we do need to train to a certain level, or what's the point? Like, right? Like you've got to do the training as if you're gonna how you need to be able to operate.
Well, and you have to keep your muscle memory intact.
Yeah.
And
so many of the ranges now, they want to let you draw from the holster, or you can't fire.
Do that at Ben Avery, I don't think.
You can't fire more than like one round a second. Or it's uncontrolled.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you're in a defensive shooting situation, are you going to count 1,000, 2 count
no.
1? No, you're not.
We're going to send it down range.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we really want to make available training to the general public to come take these classes. Have this space available for training companies who, maybe at a BLM range or some of these other ranges, they're like, no, you can't do that here. Well, that's where we come in.
Black Lives Matter has a range. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Stop it. Here we go.
So, but no, just a lot of the government influenced or government owned ranges.
Yeah.
The restrictions are so much that, a lot of these training companies, like we just can't go there.
Well, in defense of them, I see it. I like going to Ben Avery, but there's some issues out there, mostly with the people. I mean, there's experienced shooters that are a pleasure.
Sure.
You have something in common, and then you get some little short, fat guy out here that looks like it'd blow up a bus stop. He's just seeing how many bullets he can pound out of a 9mm.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, wait a minute. So
yeah, no, and that's why we will never open to the general public. Like, just say,
thank you,
everybody show up and shoot.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of ranges that you can go do that on, and that's why there's the restrictions. Because you have to play to the lowest common denominator. But our goal is to provide a good training space, good training environment for the serious shooter.
God love you for doing what you're doing, and keep an eye on my friend Tyson.
Oh,
please,
yeah, definitely.
Please. Okay.
Definitely.
Check his pockets. Okay, we're going to get this thing wrapped up and get on with the day. As you know, we have dropped some bunker busters on Iran, which has opened Pandora's box. Please, please, please use your situational awareness, particularly around large gatherings, soft targets, and just watch your back. The terrorist groups and terrorist cells have been turned loose around the world. We know we have numerous entities here that want to do us harm, but you just be safe and remember, jihad works both ways. Watch your back. I'm Don McDowell. Put your flag out, and we'll see you next week.